Hi everybody, this is Nite and today we're going to be making champurradas. I tried different recipes at home in order to find the ingredients that you can find in your local stores over there in the States. And all of the ingredients that I found, you can buy them at Walmart or Crisco or any other convenience store. So you can have a little bit of all flavor in your tables. So let's get started. Alright everybody, so for this recipe we're going to need the following. We need 4 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm using clear one, but if you have dark one, it's okay. 1 bar of margarine, 5 ounces of shortening. I'm using masola here because that's the one that I could find, but in your case you can use Crisco. I believe that if you use the Crisco butter flavor, they're gonna taste even better. So that's something you can buy at Walmart or Costco or something like that. Eggs, you're gonna need 4. We're gonna need 2 tablespoons of baking soda, the egg white of 1 egg, and a pinch of salt. When we decorate our champurradas, we're also going to need sesame seeds. So these are about 2 or 3 tablespoons. This is gonna be a lot. You're just going to sprinkle it all over the champurradas, and this is optional, but they do look better and the taste is a little bit different, so I recommend you to get that. So we're going to start by mixing. These are the 5 ounces of shortening, and I'm going to use my blender for this because this is going to be the liquids that we're going to be using for our recipe. You're going to add that, and to this you're going to add the bar of margarine. We're going to put it here. So we have the bar of margarine and the 2 cups of sugar. All right, so it's a lot of sugar, as you can see. And we're gonna mix. When we have something like this, we're going to add the 4 eggs, okay? One, 2, 3, and 4. This is going to make all the liquid texture of our recipe. We don't need any more liquids. No milk, no water, no nothing. And to this, I'm going to actually measure it with this. So I'm going to use 1 cup of vanilla extract, and I'm going to add it here. I'm going to put it here. So I mix everything up, and then I'm going to be using this along with the flowers. If you want to add less sugar, let's say 1 cup, 1.5 cups, depending on how sweet you want them. It's going to depend on when you start trying the recipe on and stuff. This is very, very sweet bread from here. Omar likes it like this. So as you can see, they all need to mix them together, and it's gonna look like this. You have to try to get rid of as many lumps as you can. If you have a KitchenAid mixer, the ones that are permanent and they don't move, then that's a lot easier because you just add the ingredients and stuff. There we go. That's it. And it looks like this. Alright, so once we have the flour and all of our solids together here, we're going to make a little hole in our bowl. I don't have a larger bowl, and I decided to make the whole recipe so you can see how many champurradas you can make. But there needs to be a hole in the middle of this. And there is where we're going to pour our liquids there. Okay, the sugar and the eggs and everything that we already mixed. I'm gonna put it here. All right. Once again, this is a very, very sweet recipe. If you want, you can try making it with 1 cup of sugar. Okay, so with our hands, we're going to start integrating the flour with the liquids. And you're going to notice that we're going to start creating this dough here. And it's little by little. This is why I'm using gloves. As you can see, it's very sticky. Okay. So you're gonna have to do this for about 5 minutes to create the consistency that we want in order to be able to make the champurradas. For you to know when this is ready, it is when it stops sticking to your fingers. That's when this is completely ready. So I already cleaned my area before starting to cook, and we're going to pour some flour on top of it because we're going to use this in order to finish making our dough. Okay, so as you can see, the dough is a little bit like this. It has to be a little bit sticky. It's not gonna be like a pizza dough or bread, like regular bread, you know, because it's sweet bread. And it includes a lot of sugar. If you feel that your dough is too sticky, I recommend you to add a little bit more of flour to the table you're working on, and this is gonna make it easier to manage. But again, this has to be a little bit sticky, and it is not as firm as dough for pizza or bread, you know? But in order to be more manageable, you can use a little more flour. Even if you feel that you need to add maybe half a cup more after it's done, you can do that. All right, so we're going to do this for about 5 minutes, you know? And it should look a little bit like this. All right, so remember that any surface that we're going to use to make this needs flour in order to avoid getting it sticky. So we're gonna transfer our dough here just so that we can distribute it. This is a big bowl, okay? So I am thinking that around 30 champurradas could be made out of this. We're going to cut it in half. I'm using a knife, okay? So we're gonna cut it in half. There we go. And then you cut it one more time. So you can divide it in 4. I have never tried freezing this. I wouldn't do it because all of the ingredients are so delicate, you know. But this is an easier way for us to manage the amount of dough that we have. So you have it separated in 4 parts, you know. And once this is made, we're going to take one and we're going to decide how many champurradas we want and how big we want them. If we want them thick and big, like the ones that we have at the hotel, then it's gonna be a bigger bowl than the ones that are a little bit smaller, okay? So it's going to depend on what you want, okay? I'm going to divide this like in 4. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 4. And I still believe that these are too big, you know? These are gonna be huge, okay? So maybe we can split them into 6 or in 8. All right, so I took some time off camera to distribute my dough. So this are going to be 24 champurradas. We can make 24 out of one recipe. Again, if you want to make them smaller, maybe you like them smaller, you could make more. You could make 48, 30, I don't know. You could split this in half and have 2 small ones, you know, like cookies. But I'm gonna make 24 champurradas out of this recipe. So I'm gonna teach you right now how to give them a shape. So before we start the recipe, we're going to prepare a pan like this. If you have something bigger that suits in your oven, that's great. Because of the curfews and the quarantines, we were just able to get some of this. So we have like 3 of them. And I already spreaded some margarine or butter or something for it not to get stick, because it's a very sticky dough. So you're going to do that. You're going to prepare your pan, and your oven needs to be preheated at 350 Fahrenheit degree since the moment that we start making the recipe. This is the amount of time that needs to be heated so that the time that you let them cook is not too much and they don't get burned. These are very delicate cookies. All right, to make the shape of the champurradas, there are 2 ways to do them. You can use a plate, you know, a simple plate with a big base. So because this is gonna be the shape that our champurrada is going to take. Or if you prefer it, this is a press that I got as a birthday present to make tortillas. I did my research on Amazon, and actually you can get them in the States. So you can order it, it's gonna get to your house. It's about $25, I think. And it's very simple to use, you know. The important part of this is no matter if you use the plate or the press, we're going to use the press first, and then I'm going to teach you how to use the plate. We're going to need the section of a plastic bag. I already cut this and I'm gonna reuse it. And this is going to be very important for us not to get our dough sticky or just, you know, stuck here in the machine or in the plate or wherever. So we're gonna make sure that this is a very round ball, a little ball. We're gonna put it in the center and we're gonna gently press, because if we press too hard, then it's going to be too thin. And there we go. This is gonna be our very first champurrada. And remember that we have our pan prepared, okay? So we're gonna put them here. It's gonna look like this. And we're going to continue making them. I would use this pan for about maybe 4 champurradas, because they're going to, even 3, because they're gonna get bigger when we bake them. And we don't want them to get, you know, all together and it's gonna be a big mess. So we did that with that one. Now I'm gonna teach you how to use a plate. We're still going to be using the plastic. All right, so we're gonna make the ball. We're gonna put the ball here in the center. We're gonna wrap it with the plastic, and then we're going to use the plate. There we go. Probably these ones are a little bit more even than the tortilla press. There we go. You can see that they are thicker. And we're gonna put them here. We're gonna put 4 of them here. All right, so now, as you can see, we have our 4 champurradas here. They're ready. And we're gonna use our egg white, and I'm gonna use this brush in order to put some egg white on top of it. This is gonna make them shine. They're gonna look pretty. So I'm gonna use that here. It's not too much. You don't need a lot. It's just a sprinkle, you know? Even if you want, I'm gonna take this wooden spoon and you can make little, you know, and they're gonna look like the ones that we have again at the hotel. And last but not least, we're going to use sesame seeds, and we're going to sprinkle a few of them on top. There we go. And they're ready to go to the oven. All right, so now we're going to put them inside the oven. As you can see, I put 4 on each plate and I can only fit 2. So I'm gonna make a few batches. Make sure that they are in the center so they reach the heat. And we're going to leave them there. In my case, we're going to leave them there for 17.5 minutes. I already tried with 20 and they are too crispy, and with 15, it's not enough cooked. So I prefer to leave them there today for 17.5 minutes. All right, so 17 minutes has passed by, and look at this. They are crunchy under, and they should be a little bit soft on the top. Let me change this here. So you have to let them cool. Otherwise, if you touch them right now, then they can, first, you're gonna get burnt. And second, then they can just fall into pieces because the dough is really delicate. So you have to let them cool for about 20 minutes or so, and then you move them to another surface.